Picture yourself in the Alhambra's Court of the Lions. Sunlight flickers through arches, fountains murmur, and every stone tells a story. This palace isn't just a relic, it's a living testament to a world where sultans, scholars, poets, and warriors shaped history. Why should we care about medieval Spain today? Because its story is our story, a tale of cultures clashing, coexisting, and creating something extraordinary. Medieval Spain wasn't a simple battle of good versus evil. It was a complex web of Christians, Muslims, and Jews living, trading, and learning together. The era known as the Convivencia was imperfect, marked by both violence and brilliance, but it sparked innovations that changed Europe forever. Understanding this history helps us reflect on our own world, how we live with difference, how we build and break societies. We'll journey from the ruins of Rome to the rise of the Catholic monarchs, exploring knights, gardens, libraries, and lost kingdoms. This isn't just about dates and battles, it's about real people, their ambitions, and the world they've built and destroyed. Let's step into a past that feels both distant and familiar, and see how the choices of medieval Spain still echo today. History isn't inevitable, it's shaped by individuals navigating a world in flux. From palaces to battlefields, poetry to secrets, Spain's story is one of transformation. The peninsula at Europe's edge became a global crossroads, and its legacy still shapes language, art, and identity. Let's begin our journey into this extraordinary chapter of human history. Our story begins as the Roman Empire fades, leaving the Iberian Peninsula in chaos. The Visigoths, fierce warriors from the Black Sea, seized control, blending Roman traditions with their own. Their rule was marked by internal strife and assassinations, but also by a crucial shift. King Recared's conversion to Nicene Christianity, uniting rulers and subjects. Life for most people was a mix of old and new. Roman villas became Visigothic estates, cities declined, but a unique Spanish identity began to form. By the early 8th century, the Visigothic kingdom was torn by civil war. Desperate for allies, one faction invited Muslim forces from North Africa, expecting mercenaries. Instead, they triggered an invasion that would transform Spain forever. The Visigothic world, already fragile, was about to be swept away. This moment set the stage for a new era, one defined by conquest, cultural fusion, and the birth of Al-Andalus. The choices made in these turbulent years would echo for centuries. Spain's destiny was about to change, not by design, but by a twist of fate and ambition. The peninsula's future now lay in the hands of new rulers from across the sea. The next chapter would be written in a new language, faith and vision. In 711, Tariq ibn Ziyad led Muslim forces across the Strait, Gibraltar, invited into a Visigothic civil war. What began as a small intervention became a sweeping conquest. King Roderick fell, and the Visigothic kingdom collapsed. Muslim armies rapidly took Toledo, Seville, Córdoba, and more, meeting little resistance from a divided land. For many, it was simply a change of rulers. Muslims offered religious tolerance to Christians and Jews in exchange for attacks, a stark contrast to previous forced conversions. The new province, Al-Andalus, became part of the vast Umayyad Caliphate. But in 750, the Umayyads were overthrown in Damascus. One prince, Abd al-Rahman, escaped to Spain and founded an independent emirate in Córdoba. Under his rule, Córdoba blossomed into a magnificent city, and Al-Andalus became a beacon of learning and culture. The great mosque of Córdoba rose, and a sophisticated court and administration took shape. Al-Andalus was no longer a remote outpost. It was a center of power and innovation in Europe. This golden age would leave a legacy that shaped not just Spain, but the entire Western world. The seeds of a unique civilization were sown blending East and West. The story of Al-Andalus was just beginning. Under the Umayyads, especially Caliph Abd al-Rahman III, Córdoba became Western Europe's largest, most dazzling city. Its libraries, baths, and palaces drew scholars from across the world. Muslims, Christians, and Jews mingled in markets and translation schools. This era, the Convivencia, was marked by both collaboration and hierarchy. Non-Muslims paid special taxes and faced restrictions, but intellectual exchange flourished. Jewish doctors treated Muslim caliphs. Christian scholars translated Aristotle alongside Muslim philosophers. The knowledge preserved and expanded here fueled the later European Renaissance. But this golden age was fragile. By the 11th century, the caliphate fractured into rival kingdoms, the Taifas, weakening Muslim Spain. Christian kingdoms in the north saw their chance, setting the stage for centuries of conflict and the slow advance known as the Reconquista. The era of coexistence was ending, but its legacy would endure. In the north, Christian kingdoms like Asturias and Aragon clung to survival, launching the slow Reconquista, a mix of holy war, politics, and pragmatism. For centuries, alliances shifted. Heroes like El Cid fought for both Christian and Muslim rulers. Early on, conquered Muslims and Jews often kept their faith and customs, contributing to a rich cultural blend. Mudejar artisans shaped Christian palaces in Islamic styles, but as crusading zeal grew, tolerance faded. The idea of a purely Christian Spain took hold, and pressure to convert or expel non-Christians intensified. The Reconquista was not a straight line, but a centuries-long struggle of shifting borders and identities. By the late Middle Ages, religious unity became the rallying cry, setting the stage for the final decisive campaigns. The fate of Spain's diverse society hung in the balance. The next great turning point was near. In the late 12th century, the Almohads, strict Muslim rulers from North Africa, reunited Al-Andalus and threatened Christian Spain. After a devastating defeat, Christian kingdoms united under a papal crusade, leading to the pivotal Battle of Las Navas de Tolosa in 1212. Against the odds, the Christian coalition triumphed, shattering Almohad power and opening the south to conquest. Córdoba fell in 1236, its mosque turned cathedral. Seville followed in 1248. By mid-13th century, only the Emirate of Granada remained, a glittering but vulnerable outpost, paying tribute to Castile. Granada survived for 2 more centuries, a fragile echo of Al-Andalus. The Reconquista was nearly complete, but the final act would reshape Spain forever. The last Muslim kingdom stood surrounded, its fate sealed by the relentless advance of Christian Spain. The end of an era was at hand. A new Spain was about to emerge. The final chapter began with the marriage of Isabella of Castile and Ferdinand of Aragon, uniting Spain's 2 greatest kingdoms. Together, they launched a decade-long siege of Granada, the last Muslim stronghold. In 1492, Sultan Boabdil surrendered, ending nearly 8 centuries of Muslim rule. That same year, the monarchs expelled Spain's Jews, erasing centuries of Jewish life and culture. They also backed Columbus's voyage, launching Spain into a new era as a global empire. The ideals of coexistence gave way to religious uniformity. First Jews, then Muslims faced conversion or exile. The Spanish Inquisition enforced Catholic orthodoxy, and the multicultural society of medieval Spain vanished. A powerful, unified, and fiercely Catholic nation-state emerged from the ashes of diversity. 1492 was not just an end, but a beginning. Spain's destiny now stretched across oceans. The legacy of medieval Spain would echo far beyond its borders. Today, Spain's medieval past is everywhere, in its language, architecture, music, and food. Arabic words pepper Spanish, the Alhambra, Cordoba's Mosque Cathedral, and Seville's Giralda Tower are monuments to lost worlds. Flamenco's rhythms and Spanish cuisine's flavors trace back to Al-Andalus. The political map of Spain, shaped by the Reconquista, still defines the nation. Yet the legacy is also one of conflict. Religious zeal forged unity, but bred intolerance, shaping Spain's empire and identity. The memory of the Reconquista is still invoked, sometimes as pride, sometimes as warning. Regional tensions and debates over identity have deep medieval roots. Medieval Spain teaches us that coexistence is fragile. Creativity and intolerance can coexist, and history is shaped by real people making hard choices. The story of sultans, knights, and scholars is not just Spain's. It's a lesson for us all. By understanding their world, we gain insight into our own struggle to live together in difference.